Okay, good morning, guys. In today's session, we are going to discuss about introductory part, introduction about subjects. In third semester, you are having four subjects: software architecture and design patterns, machine learning, web frameworks, and third one is choice-based optional paper, that is big data analytics. So all four subjects having practical work, all four subjects having 4 credits. Internal assessment is for 30 marks, external is for 70 marks. Total is 100. Okay. Your elective subject is big data analytics, having two credits, two for theoretical, two for practical. Okay. Total is for 50 marks, 50 for theoretical, 50 for practical. Okay. So I'm having three subjects for you: software architecture and design patterns, web frameworks, and big data analytics. Okay. So first one is software architecture and design patterns. Having total credits is 4. So there are 8 chapters in this subject. First one is introduction. Introduction about software engineering. Okay. So this chapter consists of UML notations. UML means Unified Modeling Languages. Then process, unified process and rational unified process. Inceptions, elaborations, construction, transitions, several parts are there. How you are going to draw this UML diagram, for that notations are there. Okay. Then various components fit in the life cycle, software development life cycle. This is the first chapter. First chapter is for just introduction. Okay. Second one is software architecture. So what is software architecture is, why it is necessary, what are the components or what are the parts of software architecture, then architectural views, what are architectural structures and views. This is second chapter. Third one is architectural styles. Architectural styles consist of pipes, filters, data abstractions, and object oriented organizations. Then event based, implicit invocation, layer systems. What are the layers in systems while designing software? Repositories, interpreters. Then some heterogeneous architectures or familiar architectures regarding software engineering. Okay. Subject name is software architecture and design patterns. Then fourth chapter is introduction to patterns. Patterns are important part of this subject. That is design patterns. What is pattern is, what are the design patterns, what makes a pattern, then describing patterns. So design patterns are important topic of this subject. Okay. It is very important subject. Okay. While when you are becoming a developer or you are becoming software architecture, so it is necessary that you know all the design patterns for all the software architecture for software. What happened? Okay, then fifth chapter is study of design patterns. So there are several design patterns like creational patterns, structural patterns, behavioral patterns. Okay, under that several patterns are there. Under creational patterns, singleton pattern is there, factory methods, abstract factory. Okay, in structural patterns, adapter, decorator, facade. In behavioral patterns, iterator, observer, strategy, command and state. Okay, so we are going to see while studying this subject, or there are several design patterns. Remember that patterns type are creational patterns, structural patterns, and behavioral patterns. Okay. Then chapter number 6, grasp, that is general responsibility assignment software patterns. Important chapter. It consists of expert, creator, high cohesion, low coupling, or strategies about or strategies or assignment on software patterns. Okay. Then seventh chapter, study of frameworks. We have to study some frameworks. Frameworks are like Spring Framework, Hibernate, Web Toolkit, okay, Google Web Toolkit. These are some frameworks we are going to study in this chapter, or basic introduction about that frameworks, like comparing these all frameworks, then advantages of this framework. Okay, and at last we are going to study some web based case study. Okay, then chapter number 8, case study. We have to select any one of the web architecture, and okay, this is what we can say, self study pattern. Okay, self study subject, not self study subject. It is like what we can take, self study. Okay, case study. You have to do this case study based on any web architecture. This is all about software architecture and design patterns. It consists of 8 chapters. Okay, total for 100 marks. So you can refer some reference books. I always suggest you best refer reference book instead of local author books. So for design patterns, you have to refer Elements of Reusable Object Oriented by E. Gama and Richard Hale. This is a reference book for design patterns only. Okay. So for every chapter or combination of several chapters, you have to refer separate books. For UML, for topic of UML, you have to refer Applying UML and Patterns by Craig Lerman. Okay. For software architecture, there is different books. So refer reference books instead of local author books. Then second subject is machine learning. Machine learning will taken by Patekar madam. Then next subject is web frameworks, having credits 4. Okay. So web framework consists of several chapters. First one is introduction about JavaScript basics. Have you studied JavaScript? Okay. So Java, in first chapter we are going to see some basic concept about JavaScript. JavaScript consists of some data types, variables. We are going to study some data types, variables, functions, events, regular expressions, arrays, and objects in JavaScript. JavaScript has HTML, DOM, promises, and callbacks in JavaScript. This is all about first chapter in web frameworks. This is first chapter. Then second one is introduction to Node.js. Okay, JavaScript. In that we are going to see introductory part about Node.js. Then what is Node.js? Its advantages, traditional web server model, process model, then installation of Node.js, Node.js event loops in Node.js. This is second chapter about Node.js in web frameworks. Then third chapter is Node.js modules. In third chapter, we are going to see some modules regarding JavaScript. That is functions, buffers, module and module types, core module, local module, directories, some expertise. Okay, this is third chapter, Node.js modules. Fourth one is Node Package Manager. In Node Package Manager, we are going to see what is Node Package Manager, that is NPM. Then how to install packages locally, or how to install packages globally, or how to add dependencies in packages. Okay. Then how to update packages, how to manage dependencies between packages. This is chapter number 4. The next one is fifth chapter, web server. In this chapter, we are going to see what is web server, how to create web server, how to send request, how to send HTTP request, how to handle that HTTP request, how to stream HTTP. Okay, this is all about web server. Then chapter number 6. Then chapter number 6 is file system. File system about JavaScript. In this chapter, we are going to see file system models. What are the files, directories, streams, reading and writing files, reading and writing directories, or other file operations like read, write, execute. You know that. Okay. This is file system, chapter number 6. Then next one, chapter number 7, events. In events chapter, we are going to handle events in JavaScript like asynchronous JavaScript, asynchronous control flow with callbacks, promises, event emitter class, asynchronous or await commands, returning event emitter, inheriting events, how to inherit events we are going to see in chapter number 7. The next one is chapter number 8, working with database. You have already studied MongoDB, okay? So in this chapter, we are going to learn about MongoDB. That is what is connection string, how to configure the database, how to connect the database with a JavaScript. There are various database operations, various commands, working with that command, working with select command, what is MongoDB, Mongoose ODM, then schema, the Mongoose model, varying with Mongoose. Okay, these are all about MongoDB. How have you studied MongoDB? How to connect, how to form connection string. Okay. Then chapter number 9, express JavaScript. In that we are going to see REST. Okay. We will see later in chapter number 9, that is what is REST. Then introduction about Express.js. Then what is routing, what is responding, configuration of JavaScript, then views, receiving data or error handling. We are going to see in 9th chapter. Then chapter number 10, introduction about Django. Okay. I think you have attended the webinar on this, okay, in last week. In this chapter, we will see what is Django with Python, okay, what is MVT, how to get and install this Django, okay. Then chapter number 11, getting started with Django. About in this chapter, we will work with Django with Python, how to set up database connections with MySQL or SQL Server, some core files, okay, managing users and admin tools, how to and install this framework, okay. Then chapter number 12, Django URL patterns and views, how to design a good URL schema or generic views, okay. This is chapter number 12, and chapter number 13 consists of forms about Django. In this we will create some forms like form classes, validations, authentications, advanced form processing techniques, REST framework, Piston, okay. This is chapter number 13. There are 13 chapters in web frameworks, okay. So next subject is big data analytics. This is elective subject for you, having credits 2, and 2 is for practicals, okay. So big data is very vast subject. So first chapter is introduction to big data. In this chapter, we are going to see some definition and taxonomy about big data. What is big data actually? Sources of big data, 3 V's of big data that is needed for Hadoop. Okay. Then next point is varying data structures. There are several data structures which are used in big data. Characteristics of big data, applications of big data. There are several challenges in big data. We are going to handle these challenges? Okay. We are going to see later on. The next point in the chapter is big data implications for industries. Big data analytics for telecom sector, banking sector, retail, healthcare, IT, and operations. Okay, several sectors are going to use big data. Then second chapter is emerging database techniques. Then second chapter is emerging database landscape. In this chapter, first point is scale out architecture. What is relational versus non-relational database management system? Then database workload and its characteristics. Implication of big data scale on data processing. Third of chapter is application architecture and data modeling for big data and analytics. In this chapter, we are going to see big data warehouse and its analytics, big data warehouse system requirements and hybrid architectures for big data, enterprise data platform for ecosystem, big data and master data management, how we are going to manage that master records. Then understanding data integration patterns for big data. Then big data workload design approaches, how we are going to handle their workload. Then map reduce patterns, algorithms and use cases for handling that data. Then chapter number 4, the Hadoop ecosystem. In this chapter, we are going to learn about new technology Hadoop. I think you are aware about Hadoop. So in this, we are going to see introduction about Hadoop, Hadoop architecture, history about Hadoop with Facebook, Dynamo, Yahoo, and Google. What is then how to install Hadoops? What is Pig? What is Hive? What is HBase? Okay, how to configure Hadoop. Then chapter number 5, extracting value from big data. How we are going to extract value from big data in real-time analytics, in memory data grid view, and real-time analysis. Okay. Then map reduce and real-time processing or use cases. Chapter number 6, big data analytics. Sorry, big data analytics methodology. In this, we are going to learn about methodology, or we are going to analyze and evaluate business cases. Okay. Then develop businesses, hypothesis, analyze the outcome, prepare data sets for that, select and build analytical model for that, design for big data scale, build production ready system, setting up the big data analytics system, gathering data and measure and monitor that data. And we have to analyze that data. There are 6 chapters in big data analytics. So there is total credit is 2 for theoretical and 2 is for big data analytics. So there are 9 assignments under that. All 9 assignments are related to case studies. Case studies on Facebook, case study on IoT sector sensors, case study on telecom industry, case study on banking, case study on Amazon, case study on General Electrics by TCS. Okay, case study on Uber, Uber, case study on Netflix, and last one case study on CDC, that is coronavirus and other pandemics. Okay, so we have to do some practicals based on that case studies. Okay, these all are 4 subjects for your third semester.